Hi, welcome to the Honey and Harry Show. I'm Honey.
And I'm Harry.
And tonight we're doing something a little different. We're going to try to get our audience involved in asking us questions. We have two topics that we're going to talk about tonight, but definitely we're going to have want it to be more interactive. So if you have any questions that you would like to ask us, please type it in. Definitely you can do that. So tonight we're going to actually, my dad, we did something with a segment, I guess our first little segment. Do we want to roll into that first with the alien thing or?
No, let's just talk about what's going on.
Okay, let's talk about what's going on in the world today. And there's all kind of crazy stuff. But anyways, today I want to talk about, I was on I guess I love Kitty Cleveland thanks to one of my great friends, Renee. She actually turned me on to Kitty Cleveland. I do my rosary with her every morning. And one of the things I saw today, which really, it kind of hit me, it was, you know how like sometimes you see people on the side of the road and, you know, they're poor things. They're begging for food or money, whatever it is. And everybody gets homeless. People are getting aggravated with them. But there was this story, and the guy was talking about superpowers. And I always, when my kids were little, I used to tell them they would have, like, whatever their superpower was. And your superpower can be praying for those people that have nobody to pray for them. Right. So what I guess I had heard a story about that, about somebody saying the rosary or saying a Hail Mary to somebody, another story like that. And now when I go by, I always say a Hail Mary. I always pray for that person that's on the side of the road, or whatever. So just trying to make a difference in life for people.
Right. Yeah. So I have no earthly idea what my superpower is.
You have many. Like he's so genius. How about that? You're
it used
smart.
to be chemical engineering, but that was a while ago. Teaching. Yeah, it used to be that too.
Running all this technology. Yeah. There's so many, and you're a good dad.
Thank you. I'm trying to learn the technology. So, in speaking about the technology, what we want to try to do tonight, as we share a bunch of stories and other things that are going on, we want to engage our audience as best we can. So we can talk on this side, but we're hoping that you'll come back with some comments or questions or something you would like to talk about, and we'll engage that topic and go with it. We're trying to build a little community stuff going on, and we can't get on the phone with you, but we can read your comments when they come in, and we can put them on the screen, and then we can talk about them and answer questions or just rattle on with something that's of interest to you, and we'll give you our take on it, and hopefully that will be interesting at least to some of us.
Yeah.
So I also thought that we would start tonight maybe with some. Hey, listen, Stormy's here. All right, Stormy, cool. Thanks for tuning in, Stormy.
Always the BFF sister.
And you can tell this is a Southern woman because she says y'all.
Yeah. That's one of my Well, I can't even say that Stormy's a best friend. Stormy's a sister. We loved each other like sisters. We fought like sisters. We shared clothes like sisters. We were just, and gosh, she's just always there. So I just know that's my girl. I can always count on.
Yeah, that's really good.
It is a good thing.
Yeah. You have so many friends. How do you manage that?
I have a lot. I don't know how I manage. I like having friends. It's
a good thing.
I know. I have a lot of girlfriends. It's not. I don't really have a lot of boys that are
right. Sure. People your husband knows. You know.
People
that,
I know, but like I am definitely team girl.
Nothing wrong with that.
I know. So I guess I have to say that for later. I was going to talk about my ticket, but I'll say that for
we'll get that in a moment.
I know.
Guys. Okay, guys. Guys, they make acquaintances pretty easily, but making close friends seems to be a little harder. So unless you share an experience of some kind, okay? So
like y'all go through something.
Yeah, go through something together.
Y'all have to go through something. Right. I feel like boys have to kind of go through pure hell. to be.
It helps.
It helps. Like if you go through something that's kind of like crazy, that's what bonds y'all. A really tough experience, or being on a team, or you know, going through some type of tragedy is always what bonds the men together. I don't get it.
Yeah, I remember, and I don't remember the gentleman's name, but I was in school with somebody 1,000 years ago, and we were both remarking to each other, because we were making buddies with each other. We were both remarking that we really didn't have that many friends, that many close friends. And he had the same experience. So that was the first time I ever really thought about it, the guy thing, because, maybe we hadn't gone through any really significant experiences at that point in our lives. We were just young, still in the early 20s, So, and if I take myself right now, I have a couple of dear friends that I meet with every week. Okay. Well, the way we bonded was to meet with each other every week for more than 30 years.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So
is that the McDonald's group?
Yeah, it's McDonald's group.
Yeah, no, but y'all are all like geniuses too. Y'all are all so smart.
We're all old. I know that. Yeah. in fact, I'm the baby. I'm the youngest.
You're the baby.
Right.
Oh my gosh, that is crazy when you think about it.
Yeah, the gentleman that we had before with us, we had three of us plus me, and he was in his mid to late 80s, and these other guys are older than I am by 1 to 3 years. So,
oh wow.
So, but another thought was, and this is interesting, talking about the bonding thing.
Yeah.
See, I didn't play on any organized sports teams.
Look, Lindsay put solving the world's problems at McDonald's.
Well, that's right. We have this little joke about us and McDonald's. As we go there every Saturday, we meet up starting around 10, and we finish around 2. And listen, we get a hug from the staff.
No way.
Yeah, they come up to us and give us a hug. Oh. We know them by name. We knew one of the managers for decades,
really?
And so forth.
Gosh.
So it's kind of a weird thing, but
solving the world. I'm decorating the world while you're solving it.
Yeah, but our joke is that we solve the world's problems every week, and then they're all back again by the end of the night.
Oh my gosh, I know, huh? Yeah. Because y'all are all just so intellectually smart and stuff.
Well,
so
we spend a lot of time playing like we are. So
y'all are. No, y'all are. So
we a long time ago we used to be more argumentative because we were trying to find out whether we fit and whether we knew enough. But now we're better than that. So Lindsay also says that we can't forget the Canes family. Okay.
Oh God.
I was at Raising Canes today, and my peeps said hello to me. Hello, Mr. Harrell. And
but wait, Dad, you got to tell them how many times you've been to Canes. And wait, Angela, I see you. Thank you.
We're gonna get to your comment. Yeah.
Okay, so what?
Yeah. So
tell everybody how many times. Like my dad's a Canes freak. I'm surprised he doesn't have feathers. He's not. He should be a chicken.
Yeah, I think I do have feathers.
I think you do.
Under my arm, But yeah, so I've been going there a long time, and they have this little card called the Caniac card or something like that. It's for people who are frequent flyers with canes. And I think I'm at visit something like 2,250.
Do you know if I went to Canes that many times, I would be 300 pounds?
Yeah. Well, I don't eat one of their big meals every time I go in. I get usually like 2 fingers, cane sauce, and a regular fountain drink, a regular drink. I get an iced tea, So I don't get like a caniac or anything like that. I don't even get fries most of the time. So I just get a little bit. So anyway, hey, Cajun Pilot, good to see you here.
I love my camp.
We got to meet the Cajun Pilot the other night. I hadn't met him before, and he's a gentleman who is very talented and cordial. So we had a good time with him.
And he knows a lot about everything and plays the piano unbelievably well. I was so enjoying, and I think that has rubbed off on Carter too. Carter has taken the lead with that. He's such a great friend.
Keeps his enthusiasm up on the piano because he sees what camp can do.
Oh, camp can do it all. And they're really big on that game. And camp, if you can hear me, remind me of what that game is. Or Dad might remember.
Yeah, I think we discussed and thought about this game a little bit.
We even thought about playing
Minecraft.
This game. Minecraft, that's what it is. Minecraft, and him and Carter have like a whole thing going on with the Minecraft.
So it's a very popular game. A lot of people play that.
Really? I don't know anything about all that.
In fact, one of my friend's sons at the McDonald's, he's a Minecraft geek. Just really goes for it and builds stuff, spaceships, all kinds of crazy things. Yeah. So I don't know much about it. Maybe we'll look at that one time. We'll have an episode on Minecraft or something.
I would like to have an episode on Minecraft because when I was younger, that's when the video games first started coming out. Right. I remember we got, I guess the Atari was the first thing we got, right?
I think so.
That was a Christmas present for my brother. And then I think we had like Intellivision. And
Mattel Intellivision, right.
That's what it was. I think Intellivision was next. And I never really fooled with the Atari too much. I didn't really space but it just didn't thrill me. But in television, I loved that Burger Time, and I remember that
Burger Time. That was cool. I loved that game.
But I can remember the reason I didn't like video games is because my brother was so good at video games that he would always be like, "Well, I'm not playing with you unless I get to go first." Well, first meant he was on there for 30 minutes. So.
Yes, at least. And then there were withdrawal pains when the game crashed.
Oh my gosh! Then he would have like this emotional breakdown, and he would cry, and then I would finally get my turn, and it'd be like, bleep, 2 seconds.
Right. So getting back to the men things, and you have a lot of lady friends, and I have a few men friends. I've made a few new ones, and the way I made them was to do one of these bonding things where you go through something together with the men, and basically you suffer together in some way, shape, or form.
It was so weird. I mean, like girls go to the spa, like to bond, or we go on a beach trip and sit in the sand and have a drink. Y'all want to go and take a cold shower, and
we got to get dirty, and we got to get hurt. And
so tell them what happened. You went hiking.
Oh yeah, so we went.
Which my dad, we are not a camping family. Just FYI, we do not camp.
We have some very debilitating experiences from camping over the years. We went out camping one time, and a storm came and wiped out our tent and flooded us all because we didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah, I don't know why we did that.
So I mentioned it earlier in one of the episodes in the last 3 months or so about this Exodus 90, and it's basically a way to shed some of your attachments. So if you're attached to the scrolling the Twitter or Facebook all day long, or you're attached to like snacking in between every meal, or until you go to bed at night, or even some more difficult things to get rid of. But the idea is that you're trying to shed those attachments, and you're doing this by prayer, sacrifice, and fraternity, which is like brothers getting together and talking about this stuff, and guys don't like to talk about stuff too much, but when you get into an experience where you're all suffering together, which we did, the cold showers and all of that, then we started building a relationship with each other. Now, even though Exodus 90 is over, it ended on Easter Sunday, I still meet with a couple of the guys every Tuesday morning, and we share time with each other. So
and that's good.
I got a couple of new friends.
Yeah, but what I want to tell everybody, you went hiking.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. So one of the things that the men were encouraged to do in Exodus 90 was to have like a bonding exercise of some kind where you go out into nature. Okay. Well, I'm not a nature boy, so I'm like. At least, I think, about 20 years older than the next guy in the group.
That's crazy.
We got 10 of us there, and I'm 20 years older than the rest of them, okay?
Didn't somebody run cross country with Lindsay or something?
Yes, exactly, yeah.
They were like his granddaughter.
Right. So they're talking about this, and then, so one of the guys is organizing it, and he puts a link out there on YouTube so we can go see what the trail looks like. And, most of it doesn't look too bad. It looks okay, except there's this 70-foot incline that goes from the top of a ridge down to the bottom.
I can't believe you did this.
And if it's at least a bit wet, you're not keeping your traction as you go down. And so when I saw that, I got with him the next week and I said, guys, I don't think I'm going to survive that. And he said, well, we did have one young lady that went on that, and I had to catch her before she hit a tree.
Oh, my gosh.
So they were real good about it all. What they did was to say, okay, we'll find something a little simpler. So we went to a trail, and it was really pretty. And it was short. It was 2.5 miles or something like that. And there was a couple of little hard spots you had to cross. There was trees falling across the path. You had to cross the trees. And there was a little bitty stream we had to get across, and that was a little bit tricky. But I enjoyed it until about 4 or 5 days after I got home, and I found out that I brought something home with me.
He brought a friend.
I brought a little friend, a little chick, home with me, and I didn't even know he was there. But he was he was on my hand, on my arm here, and he was lodged home. He was biting in, and he was there, and so I was able to get him off. He was pretty well inflated with some of my great blood, and I put him in a little container, and he was still alive.
Isn't that
and he
crazy?
was running around.
Isn't that crazy?
It was pretty crazy.
And you're lucky you didn't get like Lyme disease. I was so worried.
I was fortunate, and you guys got me to the doctor. And we took the requisite medicines, and it's now, of course, this is 2 months later, but it's now.
Is it better?
99% healed. It's
oh my gosh.
little bit of a tinge of color there, but nothing. So.
And there's no head in there, like
no, I got him out. Yeah.
He thought the head was still in there.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, that's what men do.
Yeah.
Now they're friends.
We're now friends if we survive. Okay. If we survive, we're friends. Okay. So we thought we'd try something out tonight also, which is doing some novel segments where we introduce a topic and then we talk about something crazy about it. So we got a couple of those tonight, and I'm going to show us one right here if I can find it.
Oh, and I think this is going to be so fun. I'm excited.
Let's see. This will be, we're going to do the truth or, we'll do that one first. Truth or conspiracy?
What do y'all think? Are aliens real or not?
Yeah, that's right. Well, put the alien up there, but there's a whole lot more conspiracies and truth out there that makes things a little interesting for many of us. Some people are still looking for the person that was on the grassy knoll in the 60s when John F. Kennedy was shot. And other people are still trying to figure out why Building 7 in New York went down and it wasn't hit by an airplane. There's a lot of crazy stuff. There's even people out there, maybe they're, good-hearted about it all, who think the earth is flat and it's not round and like a sphere. So is that a conspiracy or is that the truth?
I know. I got a lot to say. I mean...
Yeah, so here's one that might be eligible for truth or conspiracy. So I get an envelope addressed to me in the mail. I don't get all that much mail addressed to me, and it's from somebody in Georgia, and they put it was certified mail. Certified mail. It cost $5.08 to send this mail to me. So that's not junk mail. That's somebody who's serious, right? So what is it about? Well, it's from these guys called Crown Castle, and they want to put in a small cell telecommunications utility project in the neighborhood. And so they sent me this letter. Let me I got another slide up there that I can show you. They sent me the letter. That's shown in the lower left-hand corner, and it describes a whole lot of stuff about what they intend to do and what really good things it's going to lead to. And not shown explicitly on that graph, on that slide there, is the precise latitude and longitude of a spot just across the street from our house. And they got, 6 decimal places in the coordinates here. They're so precise about it. And they're saying you have 30 days after to receive this letter to speak with our people and complain or whatever else you want to do. So what they're putting in is a what they
So
call
are you gonna complain?
I don't know, but my neighbor has already. So
Mr. John?
they're gonna look into it and not complain, but find out exactly what's going on with it.
No, I would complain.
So this is the 5G thing, people, right? You're familiar with that, the 5G thing? So let me see if I can get back to us again.
I don't agree with the 5G.
Yeah, the 5G thing, and of course, most of us using 5G on our phones, or at least the phone says you're using 5G. So not really sure what that's all about, but it's a high-speed gigahertz signal that's being used, and the idea is that let's say that you had a 911 emergency, and people were trying to locate your cell phone because that's where the 911 call is coming from. So I think the way they do this is if you're not able to talk, and say where you are, is they triangulate between all the cell towers, and then they can find out within, a half a mile or maybe a little bit better than that, and figure out where that call's coming from. However, if they put these small cells in, supposedly they can narrow it down to, within a few houses, or maybe even closer than that.
And you don't find it fishy why they want to be so helpful and spend $5 to send you this?
Well, that's a good idea. Are they being...
Because, why are they concerned about you and your cell phone?
Well,
and why are they spending $5 to each person?
I don't know.
To send this to? It's a little weird to me because nobody does anything that doesn't benefit them these days.
Well, certainly the company involved here makes money by selling these small cells. And if they don't actually, what they do is people probably pay for the traffic that goes through them. The city may actually also be involved in helping to pay for some of this so that they can get better 911 reception and so forth. So I'm really not sure. They don't tell you in the letter exactly,
Yeah, but for $5?
That's an expensive stamp, right?
No, I'm just thinking that's $5. I mean, and how many people are you sending that to? And if I'm spending $5 to send something to you and I own a business, I'm going to get money in the back end, right?
Well, it may be, and I don't know this, but we may find out, it may be that they're required to send a notification to people with...
Sounds sketchy.
Sounds sketchy.
Sounds sketchy. It does.
I got a lot of skeptics in my family, So
that's Peanut. She says it sounds sketchy. So,
And of course, people are concerned because they don't want to have a health problem related to things like this. So,
well, that's the problem. We just don't know enough. And that's probably the biggest problem with everything. There's an overload of information on the internet. And it's not factual all the time. And we've known how the government is. Lots of times they're not on our team.
There's a favorite quote about that. It says, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help."
No, they're not. And it's scary. And it's like, is that going to cause brain cancer? Is that going to alter? You just don't know what it's going to do. You just don't know enough to know. And it's like you get this weird letter.
Well, they give you a number and you can call and you can talk to someone.
Absolutely. Call and talk to them.
You get some information. I've also been to their website. So the information out there that shows this is less dangerous than putting a Bluetooth headset on your head. So,
and that could be true.
It could be true.
And that could be true. We just, I'm not smart enough to know.
But as Courtney says, it sounds sketchy.
I love P. But let's get back to the alien thing.
Okay, go back to the aliens, all right?
Let's go back.
Because it's always aliens.
Aliens. So, I've been on both sides of I believe there's aliens. And then I'm like, I don't know if there is aliens. So I've been kind of mid-road with things. Now, I don't know what to believe anymore. How about that?
There's a lot of programs that show aliens. Right?
I don't know what to believe anymore. I'm a little confused about it all because then it's like, oh my gosh, if something happens and they have this big thing, don't trust it. It's not real. It's the whoever tried to trick us because there's really no aliens. But then I'm like, oh look, Aunt Patricia, what'd she say?
I haven't seen any aliens, but I believe. Yeah, there you go.
Well, no, because how is all this laser stuff? I agree with her too. All of a sudden, all of a sudden everybody's getting their face lasered. Obviously, I need to do mine. Be like everybody's getting zipped and zapped and like fat's coming off, and I'm like, where the heck? Who's coming up with all this stuff? You know?
Is that a plot by the aliens? I don't know.
I'm just saying. And then it's like you see all these things where they do it in the oh gosh, and what are those things in farmers have it? They do those designs.
Oh yeah, the crop circles
Yeah, and stuff. So I mean, I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe there is.
Well,
but what's that place that they have hidden out? You can't even go. Like,
Area 51.
Yeah, I'm like, why can't you go there? Why can't you take a tour?
You get arrested if you go there.
I know, but like, why? Why?
Well, because there's aliens there.
Exactly. Like, why? I don't understand any of it. I don't understand none of it. And I just know if I was in power and I was like if I was I wouldn't be lying to the people. I would not lie to the people,
right.
But like I'm going to get in trouble for this. But I feel like if you're in that arena, you got to be a liar.
Well, it might not hurt to be able to lie straight-faced in some professions. That's possible.
Maybe. I just don't know. Maybe.
Sure.
I don't know. I'm just like you. There's got to be something weird with all. There's something weird with all this.
Yeah. Well, some people believe that the aliens have been here for a very, very long time, and they're under the earth. But, I haven't seen any either, so
they're
I'm
under
not sure.
the earth? Now, I've heard that all these celebrities and all these people have a whole thing going on. And I'm like, good, go down there and hide. Because when God come back, you can't run from him. You can't run from him.
No, that's right. Yeah. Right. So the alien thing, I think the jury's still out on that. There's some pretty high-profile professional people that appear to be able to swear before Congress that the aliens really do exist. So, I don't know whether that's really... Hey, Wendy. Hello.
Hey,
how you doing?
Hey,
Good
I'm
to
so
see
glad.
you. Glad you're here tonight.
Yes. And Troy's saying, what about Bigfoot?
Oh, Bigfoot is definitely a possibility,
My
right?
husband watches documentaries on the Bigfoot because he thinks he's going to see it, just like he watches the documentaries on... Troy, what's the name of the show you watch? And they never do find the treasure. And like,
that island thing.
Yeah, and it's from where April Trowbridge, our Peanuts friend that she played soccer with from Canada.
Yeah.
It's from over there. But
so my brother says when I see one of them aliens, I'm going to ask him why did chicken cross the road. I think we'll stump him with that one. You say, what is chicken?
Uncle Eddie. And then Wendy.
Let's see. I want to get this one on here. Let's get Wendy's on there. Okay.
It says,
be sure to put aluminum foil is important. I've heard that.
Really?
And you don't have to make it look just like a little ship or something like that, or a captain's hat. You can make it
or like with the little thing where it's twisted to like a cone.
Yeah, of course. And the reason why you have to have that is because it's like the TV sets that we had in the 50s and 60s.
Or in the 70s.
You had an antenna and you had to put aluminum foil on it to get the signal right. Or you had to get your little brother to go up and hold the antenna. So,
well, I know Stormy's going to remember this. Do you remember going to spend the night at my grandparents' house, Big Mama and Big Papa's house, and Papa had I think an entire roll of aluminum foil on the edge of those things on the black and white TV.
Right. It was working though, wasn't it? Curse of Oak Island is the show where they're looking for the treasure.
So Peanut played soccer with her at Northwestern.
Wow.
And, she said it's a thing, but then they're like, oh, so many people have to die. And I'm like, oh my gosh, why do you even want to find it then?
I'm not sure I want to go there myself.
No. Antenna signal.
The antenna signal is very important.
Wendy.
So that might demonstrate that they have aliens, so I don't know.
I don't know if there's aliens. I can't believe it. I just can't. I don't know if I believe. I don't know.
Well, I'm kind of sitting here. They must have some way. If they don't live here and they're just visiting, then they must have some way of really traveling across great distances of space that we have no clue about because, the nearest star, and I'm not talking about the nearest inhabited planet because we don't even know if there is one, but the nearest star is it takes light 4 years to get here from there. So therefore, that's a pretty long distance away. So, and we can't travel at the speed of light. So
no, we can't. And I don't know. I just think it's a bunch of bull.
Well, what it could be is a good distraction.
You know, I believe that. I could be a good trying to distract us from what's really going on.
Every time somebody says it.
Wendy, there was Mork and Mindy. I remember Mork and Mindy. He came in well, didn't he come in an egg?
Yes.
He came in an egg.
He came in an egg, that's right. Yeah. And
we did, and what was it? What did he say? Nanu, nanu?
Nanu. Oh. And as I understood it, Robin Williams did a lot of that stuff ad lib. There wasn't a script. He was just
amazing.
Doing his thing.
He was amazing.
So maybe he was an alien. It's entirely possible.
I mean, I don't. Super talented, though. Super talented.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, we still didn't solve that problem.
No, I don't think we did that one.
I have no idea.
We were Earthlings, and he was from Mork from Ork.
Mork from Ork. That's right. Mork from Ork. I remember that.
Yeah, and what was it? There was it the Klingons that used to say humans? You are humans, something like that. Anyway, Star Trek stuff was pretty good. I like Star Trek.
Star Trek. I remember that.
Right.
I remember I have nightmares about Star Trek because I was so young and Dad would put that on TV and I was like, oh my gosh, what are those people?
Yeah. We are the Borg. We will assimilate you. Resistance is futile.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So we're going to go to another special segment. I think we've exhausted the aliens a little bit here. And
we didn't solve any of those problems.
This one's going to be, here it is.
Not you either. That's the funny thing.
Well, that was a picture of me. But,
but that's not how you are.
But that's not how I behave normally.
No, never. No.
All right, so what this segment's all about, and we encourage you to jump into the segment. This is a segment. I call it road rage, but what I really wanted to talk about was what behavior by other drivers on the road drives me insane and makes me borderline angry. But I don't get that angry about it. I just say, what am I going to do? So anyway, the thing that gets me is I'm in a really highly trafficked street that's hardly moving, and somebody's coming out of 7 Brew who just got their coffee, and they don't want to pull onto the street, okay? They want to go the other direction. Oh. So they have to cross 3 lanes, 2 regular lanes of traffic, bumper to bumper, and then they got to get in the suicide lane and make a left turn without getting hit from the cars that are coming the other way. So that's my pet peeve and my road rage thing. Now, Wendy says, they're in a hurry to pull out in front of you, force you to slam on your brakes, going down and they drive 2 miles an hour.
That drives me crazy when somebody gets in front of me and then they put along. I'm just like, are you freaking kidding me?
Right. And Patricia says, how about if they get in the passing lane, the high-speed lane, and they only go 20 miles an hour?
Colleen, what did Colleen say? Wait.
Colleen says, putting on makeup, going across the causeway at 90.
I mean, like, there's not enough wrecks on the Causeway Bridge. That is crazy.
That is crazy.
People, and that kind of stuff. What makes me crazy is those 18-wheelers. That freaks me out. And it's because I have a Pilot. It's not a big car. And they will, especially when we go to Lafayette, and they will just fly.
Yeah,
and the speed limit's like 60 or even maybe even less for the
trucks, right?
For the trucks, and they will go past you going so fast, and I'm like, somebody's gonna die.
Yep.
That makes me so angry. It does. It really does. Yep. But I do have a little story to tell about myself.
Are you gonna tell on yourself?
I'm gonna tell on myself.
Uh-oh.
So I live out in Prairieville, and there's a lot of little country roads that you can go down. And so what helps you chill when feeling insane?
Oh, we'll come back and do that one.
Yeah.
That's a good one, Terry. We'll do that one.
Yeah. So I went and picked up Lindsay's dog. They had went snow skiing, and I went and picked up their little poodle, and their poodle doesn't it screams.
You're saying poodles are high strung?
Well, their poodle like gets in the car and it just, it just this weird yell. So of course
It's like a cry.
It's like a cry. I'm speeding to get to my house because I don't think she likes the car. So I'm letting her drive. I'm letting her on my lap drive, which is probably illegal. And so I'm like looking around, just trying to drive. I'm going a little fast. And I'm like,
You're not letting go of the steering wheel, are you?
No, but I'm like, I know there's not going to be a cop because there's no cops over here. Well, guess what? There was a cop. I got a ticket.
Oh, God.
And I got a speeding ticket. And I mean, I deserved it. But I just never would think a cop would be on this road. Well, because there's never been a cop on that road.
That was the first time.
So today, it was yesterday, my husband tells me, like a couple of days ago, he's like, you need to figure out what's going on with that ticket. Well, they had printed it out on like a little receipt. And people who know me know that I'm not the best at keeping track of paper stuff. Well, I was like, oh my God. So I told Peanut, I said, I need to call and find out. So I called the sheriff's office and they're like, okay. I said, what do I need to do? I need to pay this ticket. I don't have it. They give me the number and all this. And they're like, well, you're supposed to be in court right now for my ticket. Because I forgot to pay it. And I was like, my court was like right then. And so they were like, I said, well, what's going to happen? And they were like, well, we'll just have a bench warrant. I'm like, what? I said, a bench warrant? I'm like, I'm not a drug addict or anything. Like, are you kidding me? And so they were like, no, here's the judge's number. You got to call, talk to the secretary. Talk to the secretary. They weren't worried about it. I got to pay it online. But yeah, so that was my little experience. How irresponsible am I? I should have just paid it when I got home that day. But,
I haven't had that many tickets in my life, but I have a couple of really gems, okay? Here's two gems that I had. One of them is that I agreed to do some ink lettering of graphs for a grad student to go in his dissertation, because back in the 60s and 70s, we didn't have all of the computing facilities that could make these things automatically. So you would do it with Leroy lettering, and it would come out really nice, but they were very tedious work. And so I made a deal. I would do his 20 or so graphs for $100. So, I was in New Orleans, and I had to get back up to Baton Rouge to go do it. I was down there, and I said, well, I'll just drive to Baton Rouge. I'll spend all day Saturday. I'll be back Saturday night, and I'll make $100. So on the way to away from New Orleans to Baton Rouge, I get a speeding ticket for $100.
Oh, that's the worst.
and that's before I did the inking, the drawings.
Oh.
So now I know I have to work all day long for nothing.
Oh my gosh!
So that was a really sinking feeling, and it was my fault. I was speeding on Nicholson.
And we've all speeded. I mean, we all done that before because you're just like, oh my gosh.
Here's another good one, which I got, and that is that we were downtown, and I was not familiar with downtown very much at all. And I'm driving. Margaret would have done a better job because she knew downtown, but I didn't. So I'm going across, I think it's the 9th Street Bridge or something like that. And there's like 2 traffic lights in a row, or there were 2 traffic lights in a row. I went through the first one. The second one's red. I go straight through that red light. Well, who is right behind me but a police officer? That was the quickest ticket that I ever got. Was he was right there. He didn't have to go find me or anything.
That's the worst. And you know what's so bad? My kids told me this. Like Peanut told me this. She's like, Mom, do you realize if I would have lost my ticket and I would have been a bench warrant, you would have I would have been so mad at them.
You'd have been upset with
but
them, right?
That it was kind of like good for me in a way. It was like, well, everybody makes mistakes. I make a lot of mistakes. I mean, I do, but it's just like, oh my gosh, I really can't believe I did this.
Oh, here's another one from Patricia. She says, you're at a traffic light and they're like on your bumper. Okay.
I know. That is, I don't like that either.
Yeah, we have this problem in our neighborhood because there's like a 35 mile an hour speed limit on the parkway.
Oh, yeah.
And if you go 35, you start building up a row of cars behind you who don't want to go 35.
And people get crazy.
Yeah.
People do. People get crazy.
And they're definitely a car length or less behind you sometimes, and that's not enough to stop, so that would be bad. Okay, if you got any other road rage things, type them in. But we got
texting and driving.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, we have to watch Miss.
We're going to come back to Miss Terry's.
Yeah.
I want to make sure we finish this, but Troy, I got one even worse than that.
That drives me crazy.
I used to read a book on the way to work and on the way home.
Dad!
In the car.
It's so funny now that I'm getting older and you hear all these things. The parents just are just like me. The parents are harder on the children and they're doing the same bad stuff.
Well, we didn't tell you this when you were our driving age, so we don't want to let you know about all that kind of stuff.
I know, absolutely. I know, right. I know.
All right, let's work with Terry's comment here, which is maybe more serious and a little more helpful, perhaps, than talking about aliens.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or stuff. So, what helps you chill when feeling insane?
Well, what I do is I have a little, my godchild gave it to me. It's a little, it's not a whole rosary. It's the little small one.
Oh, yeah, the decade rosary.
Decade rosary. Yeah. And it's made out of these big plastic bead things that she got me. And it hangs on like my turn signal thing, or my windshield wipers are, and I see it sitting there, and sometimes I just get it out and I say Hail Marys, because for some reason, those Hail Marys can calm me down and just makes everything better. You just have to regroup sometimes.
Yeah.
And saying a little prayer for me it goes a long way.
I was reading a book. I didn't know that people did what I do, but I was reading a book by Father Robert Spitzer. He's written so many books. The guy's blind. Father Spitzer's blind, and he writes books like, he's
crazy.
Yeah, like he's fixing a peanut butter jelly sandwich. But he's really good author and very thorough and repetitive, so I can understand and remember stuff. But one of his books, he had a whole chapter or a big section on little bitty short prayers to fit the occasion of your stress. Okay. And so there was he had 6 or 8 of them. And these were the ones that he said he uses when he's in these situations. One of them would be where someone had just insulted him or dissed him, and he was feeling rage coming on. That I don't know if that's insanity, but it feels like it sometimes. Mm-hmm. And he said, so he gave a prayer that he would have for that. And but he had 6 or 8 of them, and I can't remember them because I haven't personalized them, but they were very, very good. So if I can find that, I will, and I'll put it in the show notes. Mm-hmm. But I said all of that to get to this, and that is that I too use prayer to try to deal with insanity or stress or trial or something. And so my go-to, and it doesn't even have to be a big stressor or a big piece of insanity. It could be a little bitty one, like we're running late and I'm anxious because I want to be on time, or something like that. And so I say, praise you, Jesus, praise you, Father, praise you, Spirit, and that's my little prayer. And it's like a mantra, and it's something I say, and it centers me again. Okay, I can't say that I concentrate on the words very much, but I know the intent that goes with that words that I would want to have, and I can sense that coming over me, And I had a little introspection on that prayer a week or two ago where I was saying, I wonder why I say Jesus, then Father, then Spirit, when most of the time when you're going to name the persons in the Trinity, you go Father, Son, and Holy Spirit in that order. And so I thought about it for a while. I said, well, Jesus is the one that I most relate to in trying to get me to the other persons in the Holy Trinity. So maybe that's why I say that. But anyway,
and I think it's just like how I love Mary.
Right.
I always, because she, Mary's our mother, and I always say Mary's my girl.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's Mama.
That's Mama Mary, and I don't know, I just love her, and I just feel close to her. I mean, of course, Jesus and God, all that, but when I'm really stressed about, that's the first thing I go to is like the rosary, and that's really what got me through when Lindsay was sick, and when William was in the hospital, and Mama.
Big stressors.
Big stressors that have happened in my life.
Big insanity.
Yeah, and it's like now it's gotten to a point to where, I say it every day, and I'm with Kitty Cleveland, and now I'm typing everybody's names in. And there's
no limit. You can make the list as long as you want.
And the whole time I'm on there, I'm definitely like, oh, I want to pray for this person. Oh, and it's just like you just want to pray for everybody, you know. So it's lots of times when you do get stressed and you're so aggravated when you're driving. Sometimes when somebody does something like that, you have to take a step back because you can't be crazy back. That's the thing.
Right. And it's not magic that we're doing it, but it calls us back to the spot where we know what the truth is, who loves us and who we love, and that centers us. Now there are, if you. And like you say, those things got you through some really tough times.
Oh, like horribly. So like Mary's the therapist, and
absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
A book I'm reading right now. It's an interesting book, and what it is it's part of the extension of the Exodus thing, and what it is it's a 33-day consecration to Jesus, to Mary through Jesus, to Jesus through Mary, and one of the images that they use in it is placing yourself in Mary's womb with Jesus, and feeling the comfort and protection and the companionship with who's in there with you. And I thought it was like, at first, kind of a rather odd and strange thing, but it's I think it's deeper than first reflection. So
no, it is. It's just like when I went to Sister Dolce's and we spent a lot of time there, Love Sister, and I remember when like the first time I saw William, and he was so small, and he was so little, and. Yes. We went there, and the one thing she told me, she said that just picture William in the palm of Jesus's hand, and he's got him,
and he could fit in that palm.
I know he could, but like even it doesn't matter if you're a big like a grown up and you're like when Lindsay. Yeah. God has us in His hands. Right. He does, and then when you think about that, like. It gives you some comfort. It really does give you some comfort. Right. So, but anyways, I know that doesn't have anything to do with the driving.
No, the crazy drivers.
But that might help you if you're going through anything. Everybody goes through hard. So many people go through so many hard things, way harder than what I've even been through. I feel blessed. Everything we've been through, everybody's alive.
Yeah, well, all roads pass through the cross.
That's right.
In one way, shape, or another.
Yeah, so it's blessings all around.
Well, I'm just excited about all the people that typed in tonight from the various platforms.
So nice.
Yeah, so we got a little live community that's watching. We know that most of our fans end up watching the next day or something like that, and it's hard to have a show that you have to go watch at 7 o'clock or something like that.
Really?
And the reason why we do it live as opposed to just taping it and putting it out there is because it puts an edge on us.
Or our guests.
And on our guests,
Sweet, kind guests that come, and, I love our guests that come. It's great.
Yes.
And look, that's the thing. Like, the people we have on, I try to get people that have a message or, have something really good to say.
Right,
You want to have a purpose with something. You don't want to just put any little thing out there.
Right. So, yeah, I remember our show is mostly about positive things. I mean, we touch on the negative here and there, like the people, half a car length behind us and stuff like that. But mostly we're trying to share positive news about life and family and community and faith. And because there's a whole lot of other venues you can go to find all of the other stuff.
You can just turn the TV on.
Yeah. Thank you, Terry, very much. We appreciate that.
Thank you, Miss Terry.
Do. And we're
Wait, I got to tell a story about Miss Terry real quick.
Okay,
I got to tell Miss Terry, I used to love coming to spend the night at y'all's house, and loved Belinda, me and her. I mean, just
y'all
loved,
buds. Yeah.
We had such a good time. But You love to bake. I remember baking with you, and you would make your icing homemade, and my mom didn't.
Out of a box.
I know, and so I have really good memories hanging out at your house with Belinda and sleeping in the bunk beds, and Laura getting the big girl room, and Susie waking up in the middle of the night. And
Right.
just great childhood memories being with y'all, you and
Right.
Mr. Terry.
And I think you had a...
Mr. Jack, I'm sorry.
Jack, yeah.
Mr. Jack.
I think y'all had a real terrific bonding experience at Chico State Park one time, didn't you?
Oh, I wish Belinda was on. The fact that our parents brought us to, first of all, to Chico State Park, number one. Number two, they get this idea that y'all got the big house. Remember, y'all got the big house?
Yeah, the biggest place possible.
The biggest place possible, but they're like, we're going to put the children on the screened-in porch like midsummer when it's hot on a cot.
Yeah, it was bad.
And I remember I was like with Belinda, we were like, we hate the parents.
Yeah, right. Yeah, if y'all could plot something
And I remember
for us,
like walking in there, and it was like cool air from the window units. I mean, like, how is that even a vacation? That's what I want to know. How is this even a vacation?
It was cooler inside the house.
This little room right here was so this was luxury compared to Chico State Park. That was I mean, I don't know where y'all got those ideas.
Well, revenge, you exacted karma on me, whether you knew it or not, because when I came back from that vacation, I had sugar bites up and down my legs.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember
bad.
that. Dad had the red bugs. And then we decided to go back.
Yeah, I think we did. Insanity prevailed again.
It's like, we can go to a beach with a condo that has a resort.
Nah, we can't do that. We gotta rough it.
Yeah, so good memories. Good childhood memories.
Yeah. So look, we're working on a guest for next week, but in case we aren't able to book somebody, we have another episode planned, and it'll be live and unplugged, and we have a good topic to talk about. So we'll save that. If we don't need it next week because we have a guest, we'll roll out our
We have
guest.
so many guests in the works right now.
Yep.
May is a very busy
month.
For
Busy
a
month.
lot of people.
Right.
Graduations, all kind of stuff. And I just have to put it out there that my Peanut is graduating
Woohoo!
Saturday. I'm so proud of her.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, she's going to be a nurse. So I'm so proud of Peanut. She worked hard for that.
So we can officially get sick now if we need to, huh?
Yeah, well, Dad's having surgery, so that's going to be
don't talk about
that. Okay, I'm sorry.
I don't want to hear about that.
Yeah, that's a whole nother show.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later.
Well, thank you, everybody, for showing up, and we appreciate it. And we'll hopefully see you next week. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
God bless.
Thank you.
Let's see. I need to press something, right?